Hi, it's Deb with Freedom Embodied Live and the Congruence Code, and I've missed you. I feel like it's been a while since I've shared and connected, and I have been speaking with a few of you about procrastination and about this being one of those self-sabotaging patterns that gets in the way for you a lot and really holds you back from shining your light, from being the amazing, authentic person that you know you're here to be. And so what I really wanted to do today was to share with you some really simple strategies to allow you to stop procrastinating, to stop holding back. And what you're not going to hear today are a bunch of things that you can read in a self-help book that will tell you how to prioritize and how to, like all the tools and all the information and knowledge you already have in your head. You know me by now, and that's not where I like to really address these conversations, because I know I'm speaking with really intelligent women, and you already know that stuff. And if it was just about doing what you already know you need to do, we wouldn't be in this situation. But something else is going on that's getting in the way for you, and that's what I want to talk about. So, procrastination. First of all, I invite you to just explore within yourself right now, where is this conversation hitting you today? Which area of your life are you finding that you are procrastinating? Where do you feel like this is really getting stuck for you? Is it happening with your relationship with your health and your body and food? Is it happening with your business? Is it happening with you really knowing that you want to have more friends, more connection? You really need to get out there, whatever that means. And yet you just find that you don't, and other things just kind of crowd in the way. Like, what are those things that you are really procrastinating on? Maybe it's meeting with your financial planner, or doing your taxes. But I encourage you just to get really clear on what that thing is for you. And I'm going to walk you through a little process right now, and just take this in. And you know me, if you find that stuff that I talk about, you're like, yeah, well, that's great, but I'm having a struggle with doing that very thing, then you know that you can always just book some time with me. You can always just grab a free 15 minutes with me, and I am happy to share, and to hear where you're at, and to maybe help you just get that little mini breakthrough. So just know that's available to you. If you want to do that at any point, you can always just, I'll just put a link below, and you can just go ahead and do that. But I really encourage you to just take a moment and to allow all of the distraction and all of the denial and all of the delusion that everything's okay and you're doing just fine, or whatever the story is right now. I just invite you to just take a deep breath in. And just allow that stuff to just melt away from you. And allow yourself to come into a deeper place of honesty. And if the honesty itself is uncomfortable, then just take another deep breath in. Feel your feet on the ground. You're safe. And if you were going to remove the story, if you were going to remove the judgment, if you were going to remove the condemnation, and you were just going to get curious and gather some information about what's happening right now, then get honest with yourself about this thing. What is going on for you? So that's the first piece. Just allow yourself to get honest, and you're welcome to listen to this guidance, and then to take some special time for yourself and go do that, or you're welcome to just do this in real time. But usually when we just create the space to get honest, it comes pretty quickly, right? The next thing that you want to do is you want to really determine, am I in resistance and procrastination? Like, what is my procrastination about? Right? So am I in resistance, or is this incongruent? So let me just explain what I mean by those two things. So resistance is anything that we do, everything from all of a sudden getting sick to all of a sudden life getting really busy to all the ways that we procrastinate, or we go into perfectionism mode, or we start to obsess, or we start to get overwhelmed, or we get anxious, or we get distracted. There's just a million ways that resistance can show up. All of the inner stories that happen. Gosh, the list goes on and on. Any kind of chaos that we bring into our worlds, or that we all of a sudden feel like we are experiencing, and we didn't really consciously think that we're bringing that into our worlds, but it's creating a distraction and a disturbance that takes us away from having to actually do the thing right in front of us. All of that is resistance, right? So there's that piece of resistance. But then there's also looking at, is this just simply incongruent? Is this something that when I truly align with my truth, with my deep, deep conviction, with my gut instinct, with my intuition, with my divine inspiration, when I really, really tap into my inner guidance, does this fit? Or is this coming from a should? And the should is coming from here. And so we want to really be able to have something come from our heart level, from our gut level, right at that core level. We want something to come from the overflow of our own inspiration, right? So when we're tapped into our essence, when we're tapped into our truth, when we're tapped into our authentic selves, right? Then we take action from a place of deep intuition, of a motivation that comes from a place that is beyond our own thinking that we need to do something, right? And so it's important, if something isn't happening, but you're noticing that you have all of this juicy excitement and stuff that's going in a certain direction, you can start to ask yourself some questions. Well, is this thing that's not happening, is it not happening right now? Am I procrastinating because it's just simply not a fit for my deepest, highest truth of where the highest version of me is being called to play and to contribute? That's an important question to ask. And if you come back with, no, I know that this particular activity or this particular action, this particular project is really aligned with that, but I'm watching myself knowing that I'm aligned with that at a deep level, but still tripping up on myself, still holding back, still getting into these sabotaging patterns, and what's the deal? So if you find yourself in that place, then it's really, really important to uncover, to really get to the root of what is happening there for you. And so that's where, and I love supporting women around this, but that's where you really going from, okay, the action up here is that you're procrastinating. What is the attitude underneath that? What's the delusion underneath that? And what's the fear that is driving all of that, right? And so that's a very, very important part. But that's not where it stops, because I know you, and I know that you've done lots of inner work, and I know that you have tons of tools and tons of knowledge, and it's you know what your childhood wounds are for the most part, right? We're always learning certain things, but you already know. You could probably give a lecture on all of the triggers and the things that have happened for you and come up for you in your life. So it's not about gaining the awareness of that. That is one step. It's very, very important. But what I really invite you to do is actually to go through a process, see, that's no longer about you fixing you. That has been the problem this whole time, is when we're trying to use our mind to fix our mind. It doesn't work. Einstein says it, right? No problem can be solved from the same consciousness that created it. So we cannot use our mind to fix our mind. What we have to do is really gain access. We have to gain access to our true power, our inner guidance, to something that is beyond our mind, something that moves us, something that informs us, something that leads us to our highest truth, so that we can leap beyond that mental construct that's keeping us in that cycle. And this is spiritual, right? This is a spiritual alchemical process that can happen within us, but we can't manipulate it or make it happen. We can't go work on ourselves and have our fears, extract our fears from ourselves, right? That is something that needs to happen in a particular process, in a particular way, where it is removed from us without us having to fix it on our own. So I just want to presence that for you for a few reasons, because I want you to know that if you find yourself in this pattern of procrastination, it's first of all important to understand that maybe there's just a deep, strong part of you that's like, yeah, we're not taking action on this because we really need to be taking action over here. And this is coming from a should. This is not coming from a deep knowing and a connection to our purpose and our passion and our inspiration, and knowing that this is aligned with our highest version of us, right? So that's really important distinction. It's also important to cultivate the capacity to be able to check in and feel at a gut level, is this aligned with me or not? Is this something that feels true for me, even if it's scaring me, even if the idea of doing it feels like I'm about to puke, and yet there's also within that, there's kind of a thrill, because I'm like, I know that's like diving off the diving board into the next iteration of who I'm here to be and how I'm here to show up and shining in a new way, even though it scares the crap out of me. That is all really, really powerful stuff, and it's important for you to understand and get that distinction. And then it's important for you to know that when you get to the root, when you really, really uncover what is that thing, and let me tell you that I have many, many times thought that I knew what the underlying problem was, but I was still coming from my mind. So I still had figured out what I thought the problem was. But when I actually just got outside of the construct of my mind, I allowed myself to move through a deeply transformative, alchemical, spiritual process that illuminated for me my own truth. I was moved to a new place that I couldn't have created or manufactured on my own. And so I just want to let you know, to give yourself a break, to stop trying to fix yourself, to stop trying to make it happen or figure it out or do something that you're not able to do in this moment. You're going to do what you do until you don't have to do it anymore. And if procrastination is coming up right now, then it's because there is a block with your own inner power. And so all you get to focus on, if you choose, right? If you choose, is to actually get free from what's blocking you on the inside so that you can gain access to your own inner power. And then, sister, look out, because you are going to be moved from such a deep place of inspiration, of connection, of inner trust, of authentic expression. You're going to be spilling over, excited, even if it scares you. You're still going to say, yeah, but I have the courage today to do that thing anyway. And so please allow for this to just settle into you, to settle into your system. Let yourself just deeply get, because I don't even want you to know it. I want you to get it, right? Get that it's possible for you to move beyond your blocks, to move beyond procrastination or perfectionism or your limiting patterns, your limiting habits, your limiting beliefs. It's possible for you to do that, and you don't have to figure out how to do that. You actually can stop knowing. You can unknow a little bit, and you can ask. You can just ask. And if anything that I shared is landing for you, or if you want to know more specifically about how you can move through whatever limiting habit or pattern or procrastination cycle is happening for you, then just simply grab a spot on my calendar and let's chat. I don't have, I mean, I'm quite happy to share with you, because this is how I do life, and this is how I would love for you to do life too, because the more of us that are doing life from this authentic place means the more of us are sharing our light, shining our gifts, and it means that the whole world, the whole collective gets to heal. And that is, I mean, we're all in this together, right? None of us can be fully healed, can be fully free until all of us are. So let's just do this together. That's how I feel about it. So anyway, thank you so much for taking this time out, for spending it with me. I so enjoyed connecting with you. I hope that it was valuable for you. Would love to hear how it landed for you. And again, if you want to, just grab a spot on my calendar and let's connect. And let me just help you have a breakthrough around procrastination. All right, I will talk to you very soon. Bye for now. Mwah.